guys think that there's a lack of value in women? Is that the reason why the marriage rates are low? Do you guys think that's what it is? Is it
No,
it's a lack of value? I personally think it's the lack of value of family, not necessarily of women or men, but of family.
Well, you need the man and a woman to build a family. So if you, I don't know, I kind of think that is on both ends. I think we've
Go ahead.
lost. I think we've gotten away from having intrinsic value, and we look more to external value. And because those things, external values, are what changes consistently, I think that's why people aren't able to see the value in others, because they're only looking on the outside and not necessarily knowing what they need to look for on the inside.
Anybody else?
I just think dudes are scared to get their hearts broke and get their money took, and then they just look dumb because they don't know how to pick
What?
good women.
So it just baffles me. Please do not take this as an insult. Please don't take it as an insult. I can understand the heart, because I think that both people risk their heart. That's just the risk you take in love. She risks getting she's risking getting her heart broken, and he's risking getting his heart broken. But it is so crazy to me that the group of men with the lowest income are the ones who are scared to get income being taken. She's not there for your money. She's not.
So
And I'm not
I
trying to,
think
let me just emphasize, that is not trying to be an insult, because we know that there are a lot of balling black men. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, for the most part, if we look at all races of people, we are not the highest as it comes to income, but we are the most afraid of that being taken. So,
man, look, a lot of these dudes broke. Let's keep it a bean. Now, the truth is, if we as men will value you the way you value yourself. If you throwing them cookies at us already real early, and that's what we come out for, then we don't really care about who you are or what you are, right? You're giving us what we want. You got to have value inside yourself as a woman. Don't play yourself as a woman, and make these guys work for you. And if you do that, guys will see the value. Otherwise, the only value that you have is between your legs in most guys' eyes. That's just me keeping it a bean.
So I think that we harp on that so much, and I agree, right? I think that more women need to keep their knees together. But I think that men have internalized this idea that their value is their wallet. And so the value that they actually bring into marriage has now been diluted. I think both genders have misplaced where their value is. So I don't think it's a lack of value. I think it's just, to what Mistaken was saying, it's been moved to a more superficial place that just doesn't bring people together. And even if it does bring people together, they're not able to work with one another to make a relationship work, let alone a marriage.
I just want to push back a little bit on you on that one, Inaz. What the average man is making? What, $52,000 a year, right? These dudes ain't balling. So what, you protecting your wallet? What we talking about? That's crazy. These dudes ain't got no money. They don't have money like that. So if that's the way they value themselves, first of all, they're already they starting out on the bench. Your money is not your value. Period. As a man, your money is not your value. And furthermore, these dudes ain't got no money. That's nuts. So I just kind of don't agree with that part. And if that's the way most guys are looking at it, they need to reevaluate themselves. Like that has nothing to do with the woman. They need to reevaluate themselves on that.
So let me clarify, because maybe I didn't express it clearly. It's not that because they have no money that they have the right to value themselves through money. It's the men who don't make enough money that feel like they're not qualified for marriage. And the men who do make a lot of money feel like they don't have to settle down quickly because they can afford to financially and otherwise prolong being in the streets, right? It's that money is the leverage that's used to either enter into marriage or avoid marriage. It's not the character or the quality or the masculinity that men bring to the table anymore. It's now a dollar amount that qualifies you or disqualifies you.
I got you. Okay, I understand you.
That makes sense to me. But again, I forgot if it was your point. Well, it was Mistaken's point. I do believe that there again is you're thinking about your money. For example, if you're prolonging starting your family, that means you're putting money before starting your family. If you are saying I don't want to be married because I'm scared she's gonna take half, even though if you don't have any money, more than likely she's paying half. That is a little weird to me. I just don't understand it. Now I do see why people in the military might feel that way because that's pension. But there are a lot of jobs don't even offer pension these days. But it's just like maybe educators, um, military. What other jobs? So those jobs aren't even that there aren't that many jobs that offer that anymore. So I'm not understanding why if you pay 50 into a household and she's bringing 50% into a household, it only makes sense that when you leave it's 50-50. So it just confuses me a little bit, but
Well, this you can think of it from a different perspective. Like I had to, in terms of fear. So even if the average, average men, let's say, is making 52, I think that's what AP said. Even though we might look at it and say, oh, that's not a lot of money, even when you don't have a lot, you don't want anybody to take the little bit that you have too, or you don't want to have to give up the little bit that you have. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can understand the fear that comes along with if my marriage don't work. I think that's the deeper issue is, I think saying money makes more sense because again, we were talking about value, and that's what where a lot of people place their, value. But I think it really comes from that sense of I already don't have a lot, but then if this marriage don't work, then the little bit that I do have is going to be even less than that. You know what I'm saying?
you know it's yeah, I get what you're saying, but to me that would be more so of I don't want to start a family. Okay, but
Mhm.
people are starting families, they just not starting together. To me it'd be cheaper if you have two people in a household raising kids in opposed to starting a family and you guys are both living separately. So that
Mhm.
so if you're trying I see what you're saying, and it
Mhm.
makes sense if you're saying, okay, I can't afford a family right now, I can't afford a woman right now,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna not date, be on my chill mode, and don't have a family. But they got kids.
Mhm.
So it ain't making no sense. And they don't even want to pay for them kids. So I'm confused. That's all. I'm just trying to figure it out. I need some answers.